Everybody, welcome back to Plum Figgy. This is Tammy. Okay, so are we ready to finish these journals off today? I think what I'm going to do, I had said for the second journal I would do this hardcover, but after looking at my materials, I think I've got enough for both. So I think what I'll do is soft cover for both of these journals and not what I originally said. So as you can see, I've got the first journal that I decorated here. So this is the one we'll be working on today, like I said. So I'm going to actually push this off to the side. I don't have tons of room on my desk at the moment. Down here you can see, I'm not going to make it super crinkly, but I have an Amazon packaging envelope, which this will be the base for our journal cover, and this is some Tim Holtz fabric here. I picked up a haul a while back of Tim Holtz fabrics, and I thought this one would be perfect to use for the outside of this journal. I mean, it's all kinds of rusty and cool. So this will be the outside, and then this fabric here I thought would be actually really good for the inside. I think actually it matches a little bit better than the other one does. So yeah, I think it's really awesome fabric actually. This one I got at Joann's. I believe it's a Joann's exclusive if I remember. Yeah. I don't know if this helps if you're interested in finding it, but here's the details on it. So quilt fabric, it says, calico. It's 100% cotton, I believe. So, and then also what I'll be using is, so here's some batting, and I'll put some of this on the top and the bottom of the envelope. And so here's what I use. This is Pellon. It's microwave safe. I believe this is also 100% cotton. Great for steaming potatoes and vegetables. So if you wanted to steam your, don't put your book in the microwave. Don't do that. But I don't know about you guys, but I have never heard of a baked potato zapper, but maybe I'm missing out here. I've used this for, I've made those bowl holders that if your bowl is too hot from the microwave, you can put it into that, but sometimes you might want to actually put it into the microwave, but don't do that if you've used synthetic, any fabrics or even your thread or anything, because those microwaves, they can be damaging. Uh-oh, hold the phone. I just about dropped a whole bunch of stuff. Okay, so first things first, we got to do some measuring. I think I'll put this part on fast forward because it's going to be loud and annoying, but I need to kind of figure out how wide this needs to be. So, oh, actually this might be kind of perfect. So maybe I won't have to put this on fast forward. Okay, so I'm going to give it about 1/4 of an inch, probably a little more on top and bottom. And I could probably rip this. I think I've done that before with my ruler. Okay, so we've got ourselves, I guess, a pocket, which I don't really necessarily want. And I don't want these things to escape either. So I'm going to, I would normally use tacky glue or something like that, but I don't have that handy, and I've had to banish the kitty cat from my closet. So this is what we're going to use. I got Fabri-Tac instead because Kitty was being naughty as usual. So I'm just going to close up the opening here, as well as this. Okay, so next step, actually, I think this might be a little wider. No, actually, maybe it's kind of perfect width. Awesome. Okay, well, I do want to do some kind of a spine piece, because I found that it's just a little bit more helpful when you have a spine. So I'm gonna kind of measure this and see what width of a spine would be good. Let's see, this is about 1.5 inches, so I think I'll go ahead and do one at 1.5 inches. So actually, I have the perfect thing here. I had to go get some more of that batting, so I went to Walmart this morning and picked up these Sharpies. I don't know if they're called Mystic Gems. I have no need for them. I don't know why I bought them. I was just, you know, school supplies get me every time. So, but I was measuring and I'm like, oh, that's about as perfect as I could get. So I'm actually just going to go ahead and use this as my spine material. It's nice and thick. So let's see, I said 1.5 inches. So let's see, I'm going to go a little bigger than 1.5 inches. I'm going to go 1/8 of an inch wider than that. Okay, so this is freshly glued together, so I need to be a little bit delicate with it for a minute, but basically what I'm going to do is figure out where I want the spine to sit in here, and then I'll glue it down in the center. You know, it might be easiest just to find center and do it that way. Actually, maybe that's what I'll do. Because this is pretty well centered and perfectly sized. So I'm just going to fold this in half, and then we'll glue this down in the middle. Okay. And you can use Fabri-Tac for this, but to be honest with you, I wouldn't waste your super expensive glue on this stuff, because one reason why I don't use one reason why I use Fabri-Tac instead of tacky glue in most cases is not because tacky glue doesn't stick, because it really does. It's more because Fabri-Tac is an alcohol-based glue, and so because tacky glue is water-based, it is going to make your paper wrinkle and warp, and so for that reason mostly is why I stick to the Fabri-Tac most of the time. But in this case, you're never going to see it, because I'm going to be putting the batting on, and I'm gluing that onto the front and back cover. So I could be and should probably be using my tacky glue instead of the Fabri-Tac, or PVA glue actually would be another good choice here, maybe. Meant for book making. Okay, now let's go ahead and test this one more time. Yeah, see, this is what I should have done at first. And I'll make sure that we have enough on the edges to cover everything here. Actually, probably what I'll do is I'll extend the batting just slightly beyond, because obviously we'll be adding batting to both this side and this side. So let's go ahead and do that now. So let's see. Unfortunately, a lot of what we're doing today is, or at least in this step, is not super fun and exciting necessarily. It's just you got to do it. So I have 2 layers here, 2 layers of batting, and I literally just cut off a from the whole big piece that came in the packaging because I knew I didn't need that much. Actually, I don't like wasting even just that little bit. It's gonna bug me. So, or actually, I'll just turn it around so I have the folded side over here. Straighten this out. There we go. Okay. So I'm trying to decide what the easiest way to go about this might be. I could just glue it straight down to this and cut it that way. That might actually be the easiest. Yeah, I'll go ahead and do that. Okay, so I'll go ahead and just add some glue down to this, and we'll glue it down. I'll cut it out and then glue down the other side. And I like to glue parts of it at a time because I find that especially if you're using Fabri-Tac, can tend to dry out quickly if you've got a hot room, or if it's been sitting, or if it's kind of old, like you've had it for a while. So, okay, I wanted to add just a little bit extra on the side, so I've got that accommodated for now. I'm just going to flip this over. Yeah, I'm working with a big piece here, which is not helpful, but I've got it glued down, so now I'm just going to glue the rest down. All right, now going to get my big guns out and get the big scissors out, and I find that these are easier to work with when cutting bigger pieces of fabric like this, or for me anyway. I'm not very good at cutting straight. I never really have been, so I just find that bigger scissors like this are a lot more helpful in getting me to do that. Okay, so let me put this off to the side. We'll come back to that later. But yeah, this is going to be a little bit annoying. Because it's kind of bent funny down here at this corner, but I also want to cut the two layers at the same time, so alright. Okay, so now I'm just going to go ahead and do the exact same thing. I'm going to glue this down, and actually I find that it's easier to center this way around for whatever reason. So I'll do the same thing that I did on the other side, where I'll just partition it out into little sections and glue a little bit at a time. Alrighty, so now at this point I'm just going to clean up these edges just a little bit so that they're even. And then we're going to get our top and inside, our out and inside fabrics sized. Okay, well, that looks pretty darn good if you ask me. So we've got ourselves a little sandwich of batting and packaging here. Now I'm going to start with the outside fabric first, because actually I think it's just going to be a little bit easier to work with, and I'm hoping, I think I'm right, that I can use it for this direction, and I think this will work perfectly. Okay, So that way I can get more projects out of this piece of fabric, which is always a goal, right? So, okay, I'm going to... Okay, why is this... it must not be super straight. Okay. Okay, so it's going to be a little bit snug, but that's exactly what I was kind of wanting, so I'm okay with that. Yep, I'm going to scooch it. About that far over. And then over here, I'm going to take off about that much. Okay, so of that, we have this little piece, which will be good for a spine for a different cover. I'll go ahead and, oh, I was like, where's my spare fabric? It's over there. Okay. Which way is up on this thing? I'm not sure. Maybe like this. There we go. Okay, so this is going to be our cover. I'm going to... Normally I would probably use this to... Actually, yeah, I'm trying to decide if I want to use this to... this or this to measure the inside fabric, but really it doesn't matter, I don't think. Okay, so now at this point I've got to figure out the more fun part of doing a cover like this, which is how do I want to decorate on the inside and the outside. I can tell you the inside I want to keep fairly simple, and I think what I'll do is just pockets on the inside. So I'm going to look through my fabric stash. You know, I do have the pieces that were left over from this cover. Okay, so this will be for the other book too. But I'm wondering, I'm not sure how that might look. So let's pretend that this is a little pocket down here. Let me put my book in here. Yeah, see, I think it's fine. I was a little worried about this cover fabric not 100% matching the insides, but actually I think it's fine because there's these yellows. I was just more looking at, I think maybe my printer printed them a little more pinky, corally red than, oh, you know what, I never I never did this. I need to do this before we finish. I never sewed around this and then sewed it in as the pocket. I'll make sure and do that before we're all done. So, yeah, I think it'll be fine. I think I'll go ahead and just use those and make those into inside pockets then. That'll be easy enough. So, go ahead and just snip this in half here. Or rip it in half. And this is where I should have my pins handy, but I've never been good about doing that for whatever reason. But then I'm wondering too, I feel like I should back this with something to give it some sturdiness. I think I will. I think I'll go ahead and back these with some packing paper and then sew that directly on. Because it'll help to get things in and out of the pockets that way a whole lot better. This glue is super sticky. Okay, so I'll take this to the sewing machine. I'm trying to decide too if I want to decorate this at all, but we can for sure do this part of it first, if nothing else. Okay, so I feel like we should do something on these pockets to decorate them with something. I have all my ephemera and stuff in here. We've still got this guy. Got some of that. We've got a ticket. So I was gonna say, Amy at Crafty Cat messaged me in the last video, and because I had mentioned I wasn't sure quite what the pictures were of, and actually I should pull up what she said so I don't misspeak or anything. Hold on one second. Okay, so she said she got the photos, these photos that are in her journal kit. She got them from a 1906 city planning directory. So many of the photos are judges, police, school board, etc. So maybe not necessarily a family here, like I was thinking. But I was kind of picking up on that with some of these. I mean, obviously the city planning would have photos of, you know, various parts of the city and stuff, but street superintendent. So that's why I was kind of leaning towards the Tim Holtz people on using them for the ephemera and stuff, because, or you know, so city clerks, because they look like workers or people who would be doing things in the city. So yeah, so I thought that was really cool. So really kind of a different thing to use. And I love the idea of it for sure. Okay, so let's take a look and see what we can find in here for ephemera. I've got glue all over my fingers. So I want to keep it fairly simple, like I said. I don't want to go overboard necessarily with too much here. But I'm thinking we could do a label or something on the front here. Alright, and then I do think I want to use this, so pull off this little piece of plastic protecting it. Okay. Looking over here in my bits of paper and stuff to see what I might have to use. Oh, you know what? I got some of that still. Some tea-dyed paper. Okay, I think we're good here. We definitely got enough to work with, that's for sure. So, I don't want to cover up all of it, but I think adding something like this would be kind of interesting. And then I thought I had a smaller piece of this. Guess I don't. Oh no, I do. Here we go. Here we go. Okay. All right. I'm going to tack this down, and I'll obviously go over it with the sewing machine here in just a minute, but I don't know why I needed to add that much glue. But it's glued now. It's not going anywhere. Okay, and so I had this. I need to refill my glue. Both of them are getting empty. And I think I had that kind of like that. And then this was kind of something like this. Actually, I think I liked having that laying down. Laying my glue down instead of keeping it up. Okay, so this could maybe go like this. I need something over here. Maybe this goes over there. Okay. Now I'm gonna look for one of those long skinny ones with just a random number in it. Here we go. Where to put it? How about right there? Okay, so here's a closer look at that. I'll take this to the sewing machine here in just a second. So now let's focus on this one. don't know why, but for whatever reason, this one is kind of calling out to me. So we'll put this in the collage somehow. And I'm just kind of grabbing at random here. I'm not really thinking too hard about what I'm doing. Really, I just kind of want to I don't know, come up with something kind of interesting. Covering this hole here again with, see, this is a little bit, let's do it that direction. So that 12 is up and not crooked. Okay, and then I'll put this down below it. I like that little thing there. I'm not quite sure why or what it is, but I like it. I don't know that we need that, so this I might just leave blank, but we could do like a figure 1 or something like that, destination. Let's see what we can find down here. Form, I've already used that on the other one. Here we go. Do I like that? Maybe. Maybe not right there. Yeah. Yeah. I can go with that. Okay. Glue this down. Okay, so I went ahead and did some messy stitching. Went one stitch too far. Thankfully it didn't break my needle. And then here's this one. So I'll go ahead and get these put down onto the fabric, and then I'm going to take this and sew the pockets on. I think probably with a zigzag stitch. So I'm gonna tack it down with some glue first, though, just since I don't have any pins, which actually I probably wouldn't use pins now at this point anyway, but get rid of this little string here. Okay. Go in just a little bit and up just a little bit from the very bottom. It's not going to be, I'm sure it'll fit just fine, but we could double check with our spine piece. Make sure it's not going to interfere. Yeah, it'll be, that's perfect actually. So it is not straight, however. Okay, and then I'll do the same thing on this side. Just add a little bit of glue so it's not going to go anywhere on me. And then I'll go ahead and stitch these down, and we'll go next we'll work on the front cover. Alright, well, we've got our inside ready to go. Now let's focus on the outside. So I'm trying to think what we want to do. I think maybe one of the Tim Holtz people seems probably kind of right. So I'm going to get rid of some of these extra strings. I don't want them showing through and looking kind of funny. Okay, so this is up. I am going to put it onto my thing though, so I can kind of map out where the cover will sit. Yeah, this is pretty perfect actually for something to go kind of right there. So I'm just gonna weigh this down with my okay, so what would we do? I've got some of that. Actually looks kind of nice. I've got a piece of this. I've got, ooh, well, let's use that somewhere. And maybe that. We've got some more of this packing paper. Maybe we'll just do kind of a layered pocket kind of an idea. Maybe I like that idea, actually. See if I can't clip these to shut, or at least weigh it down with the clip. There we go. Okay. So if we had this as our base, alright, not looking for perfection here. I like this for the color mostly. I will keep that though. We'll do something with those. Okay. Well, maybe this can be our base. It's a little bigger than I think I wanted though, so, and I do like this blue. I'm gonna rip it down like this. Okay, so I really don't know what I'm doing right now. I'm just kind of putting things down. Okay, maybe we won't do a pocket. Maybe I'll just decorate the front. That actually, or this could go in as like a journaling card maybe. Ooh, I like that idea. And do some kind of a pocket here. Okay, so I'm going to, I like the way this looks, so I'm going to go ahead and just kind of start gluing this, and then I'll use this as my base, my reference, and take it off of the cover here so I can work a little easier. All right, now let's go ahead and I'll come back and sew all of this anyway, because it's gonna need some sewing. All right, so I'm looking for this. Okay, now let's find ourselves a focal point. What I probably should do is find an image from the second journal that we don't have in this first one. Maybe even this guy, but I feel like he was in the first one too. Or I do like the idea of using a Tim Holtz person. Okay. Chief of Police. Well, that's pretty cool. I like that 50. Maybe I'll reprint that. We'll put that on the cover. Alright guys, so when I went back to print off that page again, I realized that there's also all kinds of ephemera in those kits that I must not have printed off for some reason. I'm trying to figure out why not. But she's also got all these really awesome tags and other pockets and things. So I failed on that. I don't know what I was thinking, but I bet you I was thinking I was going to come back and print them off onto cardstock so that they would be sturdier and then tea dye them, but I must have gotten distracted or something and I just didn't do that. So anyway, there's really awesome ephemera in here too. I mean, look at this. This number 10's painted on a brick wall. It's really cool. So I picked out a couple. So I really like this. This was a tag. I ripped it down to become part of our collage here. And then this really cool top of an old gas pump, which is really neat. I fussy cut around that and then just inked around the edges. And then we've got another 1918 that's been painted on a brick wall or something. So I don't know. I feel like maybe like that would be kind of cool. But then I'm also thinking, should we have a guy on the front or should we not? I don't know. We could put that into the tuck spot maybe. Let's see. Make this come down this way just a little bit. And this could come up here. Is that too many numbers? Might be. The other thought I had was I could tear this guy out. I mean, she did this awesome collaging and everything too, and I don't know why I did not print these out. I mean, I'm feeling kind of silly now. But, oh well, I suppose. So, what if we had him kind of sitting more like that? This might be, I might like this better. Okay. We had him kind of going like this, and then I do like that 50. I don't think we need the house though. Cover him up, but is that too many numbers? Maybe not. I don't know. I like the blue. I really like the blue. So if we did that, what if we did this? That's too many fives. Let's see. Well, he's just kind of getting buried under numbers now. Okay. Well, I think I'm at a point where I feel like I need to take a step back, take a break, and come back later. So that's what I'm going to do, because I'll have fresh eyes at that point. I do think I should get some of this incorporated along with some of this other stuff that I've kind of been using. So yeah, I think I just need to take a break and come back later when I'm a little more refreshed. So that's what I'm going to do. Okay, everybody, I'm back. It is the next day. It's actually Sunday today. I think some of what my issue is I feel like maybe he's just too big. So I'm looking back at some of these pieces that I reprinted to see what else there might be. I do like this guy too. Actually, I kind of prefer his background in a way. It's a little less busy. He's also about that same size. So I'm just going to kind of look back through what we've got going on. This guy actually might not be a bad one. And then there was this journaling card. I might actually keep this one handy and just make that into a journaling card that tucks into the thing. Okay, so I did actually print this page over again, and so this is bigger, but I don't think that that's gonna be helpful at the moment. Okay, so then there's, okay, well, I like these ideas. We can do some ladies. Oh, well, that's too bad. It says something about she served for 16 years until her death. So she must have died fairly young. Poor lady. Okay. So, sorry. Distracted. Okay. And then these two are both fairly big. So, let me think. I feel like I need to cut those two guys out. This guy looks a little sketchy to me. I don't know that I want him on the cover. And if I don't get this on the cover, then I'll definitely put it somewhere inside the journal, in a way. And actually, now that I see that there's all these ephemera, I think I'll go back and at least create tags out of them and back them, or maybe I'll just tea dye them and cut them out and put them into the journal with paper clips. But I'll do that for both journals, because I don't know what I was thinking. I totally failed on printing these off, and I'll print them off on cardstock. Actually, that's what I'll do. I'll print them off on cardstock and then tea dye them. And then these that I've already printed, I'll just back them with something and make them into cards. Okay, so focus. I thought I would be more focused, and I'm not at the moment. So, okay. The other problem is I think I'm just trying to get too many numbers on the front here. But I also said I wanted to add some more of this. So let me just go ahead and start gluing some of this stuff down. And then that will help me know how I should deal with the photo and the rest of the collage. Yeah, so sometimes collages, oh, I didn't need to add all that glue. Sometimes collages just don't always go the way that you want them to go. And this is an example of that. The other thing I was thinking was it wouldn't be a bad idea to add some fabric behind. I don't know though. Some of this fabric might not go very well with, this is just, it's got a bunch of fuzzies. This, it's not my favorite. Let's see what else I might find here. I don't really want the ticking, but this other fabric isn't too shabby. Well, okay, so the thing is, if I do this, and we're just going to cover so much more of the cover, which I don't necessarily want to do. Okay. Let me think through this a little bit more. You know what I could do, though, is we could do some of this on the back side. In places, and then let's see, I think probably I'll use this instead. And then that way it can kind of come out from the sides. And add some interest. This. I'm running out of glue. Okay. I'm not quite sure what I'm doing at the moment. I just kind of want to grunge this up a little bit more, and I'll make it look better. But gotta get the foundations first here. So let's see, we'll be putting stuff into this side, so maybe I'll just leave this side as it is. And then I've been using this twine throughout the whole thing. So we could do some of this twine on the cover. Maybe I'll keep that for later after we're all done here. I've also been using some of this. I don't know why I got rid of this already. And I have liked the idea of scrunching it the way that I've been scrunching it. So let's just do that. Sorry guys, I'm in the middle of a really good mystery whodunit murder book, and I'm kind of like, I want to craft by myself so that I can finish the book. But no, I'm like, no, I gotta get this video out today. So I'll go back to doing that after I'm finished here, but my brain is still kind of there. So, okay, so let's just try this. Now, where did my people go? There we go. Okay, so if we did, I kind of like the shape of this one. I kind of actually really like this lined paper that he's on too. So let's do it this way instead. Okay, now he could go down there, and obviously whatever I end up with, I will ink around the edges and stuff. Or up here maybe, and then this, I don't know that I want it to be so like blocked out. Okay, we'll get there. You know, sometimes they just take a little bit longer. Sorry, let me pull this up. What do we got here? We've got some rusty... Ooh. Let me cut this part. Okay. So if we did that, and we had this kind of like this. Don't love that that's sitting directly on top of the cardboard, but it's not the end of the world if it does. We could do this down here. Got a lot of numbers here, guys. Okay. It's not coming together just yet. Let's see, what else do we have here? I like these. I'm gonna take some of these letters. Okay, through the O, I guess. Okay, so to balance some of the numbers, maybe we add a few letters. And we could put this down here. Oh, I need to take off this side. So I just decided I have all these happy planners and happy notes that I really never use. I'm one of those that... And I've been so much better in the last year about not doing this. But I have a problem with buying these things and then never using them. Excuse me, my goodness, I don't know where that came from. And so I've been doing a lot of reading, and, well, when I say reading, I listen to the audiobooks. I love to read. I grew up reading, actually. I was kind of a voracious reader when I was a kid. And, you know, after college, you do so much reading in college, I just kind of was like, ugh, can't read anymore. It's just too much. Once you read so many textbooks, you know, it's like, oh, it just kind of ruins reading for a while. And so, I kind of came out of that, and I'm liking this, guys. This is better. Okay. So I'm going to ink around these. So anyway, the traffic in my city, can sometimes be annoying, and I'm not complaining at all, really, because I know that we are very blessed in my city that we don't have bad traffic jams, and if we do, they really don't last very long. Like, there is no reason for me to complain at all about traffic. The complaint is mostly people just drive so freaking slow, and it just can get on my nerves sometimes. So when I'm driving, I am not rude, but I have a purpose, and I need to get somewhere, and don't drive so slow. And so anyway, I just started listening to audiobooks and things as I was driving, so that, you know, it could kind of keep my mind off of that. And then I was learning stuff too at the same time. So, okay, I like the idea of this kind of poking out, maybe like this. And then we could put, so anyway, and I'm really covering up this cardboard a lot by doing this. But you know what? You can't keep everything. Let's see. So, I liked this. So, oh, I forgot to ink this one up. I downloaded the Libby app, which is, I'm pretty sure I've mentioned this on my channel before, for those of you who watch a lot of my videos, which is our local library. You can check out audiobooks or, you know, books to read on your phone or tablet or online, I suppose. And so I use that along with my Bluetooth in my car quite a lot. I listen to a lot of books in my car and podcasts and stuff. And anyway, so I stumbled onto this trilogy. So here's my little setup. And I've not really started really writing yet, but Ragnar Jonasson. There's a trilogy. This first book was really, really good. Hated the ending. But then the second book was really, really good, and now I'm on the third book, and also really, really good. So the second book was, if you're curious, The Island. And then the third book that I'm listening to now, if you like murder mystery type things, this one, The Mist, is what I'm listening to at the moment, and I'm kind of right in the middle of it. And anyway, I think it was originally written in Icelandic, and the lady that does the audiobook is just kind of amazing. She's really, really good at doing the different voices and stuff. She's really a good actress. So anyway, I don't know why I'm telling you all about that, but it's kind of just on my mind, I suppose. Okay. So I'm kind of thinking I've got a little bit of a lot of things going on here, and nothing is quite working the way that I want it to work. I need less is more. And so we've got some rest there, which I know will match really well with this cover. This one, not as much. So I think I'll keep that one off. And this one, yeah, even that one's not so good. So, so there's that. We could put this on somehow, but I think this would be better in some other page in this journal. Let's see, I don't necessarily want this coming out of his head, but let's see, we could put that down there. So I'll glue this down, and then I'm going to do messy stitching, and we'll add some more little elements on the top of all of this. Butt that up against or onto the top of, there we go, that. Okay, now I'm gonna go ahead and glue this down. And then I feel like I need to get some elements of those like black smaller numbers, or at least one or two of those, along with, oh, maybe, so I've had this one ready to go. We could put that like this, so we'll just leave that there for now. Yeah, I like that. And then, let me get rid of some of this. Okay. I want to save some of these for, you know, obviously the other cover form. You know, you could do something like that up there. Number 5. We already got a big old number 5. Okay. Excuse me, my allergies are going crazy today. Could do a figure 1. Actually, I kind of like the form better for some reason. I mean, it doesn't mean anything. There's a number 7, number... Okay, so there's a long one. Let me just cut this one out. Just about dropped it, and it almost went into nowhere land. Okay. So I'm going to glue this down. Actually, wait. Let me add, I've got some sari silk sitting right here. Let me add just a little bit of sari silk there. And let's see. Let me stick this back there. So form. This could go up just a little bit, but then now I feel like we need to put something there, which we certainly could. Okay, so I've got report. The form is a little bit shorter. So if I did kind of a little messy, I don't know, something, it's not quite long enough. Could do like a lasso or something. I don't know. I don't like that, because then we've got now 2 circles. So let me do more of an oval. You know, I just realized I did not eat breakfast yet. Okay. So I'm gonna, I don't know what I'm doing, but let's see. make this kind of messy. I don't know. Does that look weird? It's kind of weird, isn't it? It is kind of weird. But also kind of cool. I would cut that short. Okay, how do I keep this in the same? Let me add some glue here. There, okay. And I will obviously come back and I'll be sewing this. I want this to be more of an oval though, so not as much of a circle. I don't know, maybe I screwed that up, but then we could put that there. Like that. And I do like this down here, so I'm going to glue that down. Whoops. So I think I had that about there. Okay. Yeah, I like this a whole lot better. And oh, that's still sticky. I need to, I guess, now back this with something. But yeah, I was kind of starting that reading journal because I think I forgot to finish that little story. I found myself forgetting what I had listened to. Like, I listened to a bunch of, well, some Jodi Picoult books, and I really, really enjoyed them. And then when I was going back and kind of trying to remember, you know, kind of what they were about, I was forgetting a lot of the basic plot and stuff. So I decided to go ahead and start this writing journal since I already had all the happy planners, and use up some of my stickers that I never use. And that way I would at least be able to go back and look back at my notes if I forgot in the future. Okay, so we need to trim this at about right there. So that'll be good. Okay, so I need to add... Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and take this now to the sewing machine. I'm going to do some messy stitching all over the top of it, which is going to make sure and really seal in a lot of what we got going on here. And then, yeah, that's cool. I like that. And then I will still turn this into a journaling card that will stick in here, which is going to be really cool. And so we'll do some kind of top of that, or topping, top. What am I trying to say? Something. We might stick a few other journaling cards in there too, but yeah, so I'll be back when I'm all done with that. So here is a look at how that turned out. And I also went ahead and I just added a little piece of cardboard to the top of this little scrap that I had, and then the figure 2, and then this was one of the journaling cards that was on her ephemera sheet, and I just backed that with some tea-dyed paper and sewed around that. So we'll stick these two in behind here as part of the embellishment. So at this point now, all I need to do is I need to line this up and figure out where I want it to sit on the cover. And I'm going to just tack it with some glue. And And then I'm going to take this now to the sewing machine again, and we'll get it sewn down. Okay, so that's sewn on now. It's a little floppy at the moment. I'm not going to stick these in just yet, but essentially that's what this will look like. Oh, well, that's a big mess. I just dropped all those papers onto the floor. Okay, so at this point now, I need to sandwich and then sew our cover to our inside piece. So at this point, I'm just kind of adjusting this so that it is directly in the center, or as much in the center as I can get it. Okay, I think that's about as good as I'm gonna get this. This is a little problem area down here, so I was trying to make sure I had enough on both sides. Okay, now we'll go ahead and put this down, and this is where I really should have. Gosh, you guys, these journals are gonna be, they're so cool. Right up my alley. I need to do more of this kind of stuff. Okay. So yeah, just putting this top cover down, and this is where, if you have pins, get them out, because they're really gonna help. And actually, I'm gonna actually do that now. Alrighty, so here we have our cover. Where did I put the tags? There are tags that are supposed to be oh, here they are. They got tucked under a bunch of stuff. Okay, so we'll have our tags sticking out just a bit in on the cover here. Really cool. Really loving this, guys. I think it's so much fun. Oh, I need to mess this up just a little bit, but let me kind of walk you through what I did. So first thing I did was I went around the entire perimeter with a straight stitch, and then once I finished that, I went up the spine, just on the side of that spine cardboard that the extra support that we put in, and I see I kind of veered off a little bit here, but tried to get that as straight as I can. Honestly, it doesn't matter. So once that was done, then I went back and I went around the entire perimeter with a zigzag stitch to make sure I caught everything that maybe, because we don't want any bits or anything that are potentially loose. And actually, it looks like I might need to go back down here. And you know, as you're doing this, if you're doing this, I think I was looking at it from this direction. It might not be a bad idea to then turn it around and do it from the other side. So I may come back and do one more straight stitch around. The thing is, I don't have tons of this thread left. So I have to be a little careful on what I do as far as that goes. Okay, this is going to become a problem. Let me just trim that. Okay, so now at this point, I would take my signatures and mark out where my holes need to be and sew my signatures in. But first, and I'll do that on my own, you guys, you know how to do all that stuff. So this is how it will sit, but I want to do a closure. So I think this Sari silk here is kind of the perfect color to match. So it looks like I might have the perfect length here. I wanted to make sure there was plenty of room when it was closed. So at this point now, I'm going to take this length of Sari silk and I'm just going to cut it in half. And you could put it on the top, you could put it on the inside. I think I'll I think I'll put it on the inside, actually. So I'll just sew this down, and I'm going to pin it in place. And then we'll do the same on this other side with the other piece, which for some reason I stuck right on top of the whole pile. Okay, come on. Seriously? Here we go. Okay, there it is. Let me put these off to the side. Okay, so I want to make sure and line these up, obviously, and get them into the middle of the journal. So about right there. And so yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and finish all the sewing and sew these in, but I'll do that off camera. I mean, that's pretty self-explanatory. Honestly, I don't know that, well, I'm not going to say that. I think this one does need a closure. A lot of times I'll make a journal and it doesn't need a closure, but I would say that this one does. So we'll kind of pretend like this is all done now and see what this looks like. Put it into a bow. Yeah, this is pretty cool, guys. So here's what the finished journal is going to look like, and obviously I'll fix the pulling and stuff. But yeah, got a lot of room in there for sure, and there's definitely room to grow too. So I mean, it's chunky, but there's definitely room to grow, and you know, you could add something on the spine if you wanted to, as far as a label goes or something like that. But anyway, there's the finished product, essentially. So I will do a flip through of both of these when they're all done, and at that point I'll say when they're going to be available on my Etsy shop for sale. This one's already spoken for. There's one available, and then that blank journal that I showed 2 videos ago. So I'll have two journals for sale ready to go. Probably maybe 3. We'll see how productive I can be today. I've got actual work that I need to do today too, and yard stuff that needs to happen. So we'll see how much I can get done. But so anyway, hope you enjoyed this. This was a lot of fun to do. Next up, I'm going to be doing that modern kitty cat journal. So that'll be a fun one. I might do a lot of that on my own and bring you in on bits and pieces of it, because I do want to get working on fall and Halloween pretty quick. So that'll be coming up next on my channel. And yeah, at some point I'll get back to my personal journals and journal in some of those, because I need to do that for my sanity too. So it's not all the same type of thing. But anyway, so I'll see you all in the next video. Bye.